Hi friends, how are you today? I'm gonna turn up my, whoops, oh goodness sakes. Okay, I'm gonna turn up my volume. There we go. I had my volume down by accident. How are you? Welcome, welcome. My name is Peggy Noe. I'm from San Diego County, California, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie, today, and we want to make some cards with you. We're going to do make a really cute card today, and I'm just going to confirm here that we're live. All right, it says that we are. There we go. Okay, Roz and Tina, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a nice Wednesday. And I'd like to know your weather there. Karen, good to see you. How is the weather? Here it's quite warm. Not super, super. Hi, Tina. Humid in North Carolina. And I bet in Florida too for Roz. Pam, good to see you. Indiana in the house. Sandy, good to see you. Yes. The midst of summer. It's like the dog days of summer. Is that what the dog days mean? I don't know, but it's the middle of summer. And we're, most of us in air conditioning, hopefully, and just relaxing. Hello, Nancy Sue. Good to see you. Ellie has been itching a lot. You know, that's storms every afternoon, Roz. Yes, that's what makes it so beautiful there for you. Hot and humid in Indiana. Yep. Ellie has just been itching a lot. She doesn't have fleas. She might have a bug bite or two, but it's something that normally happens. You know, in the summer, they get real itchy. It's not particularly dry here either, so I don't know why she's so itchy. We're going to have a little visit with the vet tomorrow and see if there's something we can do about it. Because she scratches and it messes up her hair. Smoky, hazy in 94 in Ashland. Yes, Karen. Why is it smoky? From the only fires I know of are the Grand Canyon fires. Hot Arizona, hot and muggy, Vicky. Yes, muggy, which is unusual for Arizona, isn't it? Generally, it's unusual for Arizona to be muggy. Snickers is having allergies. Pollen, yes. I think that's really light rain showers in Arizona. Okay, well, that's a good thing. Julia, good to see you. Soggy there where you are. Let me just switch her around. She's just itchy. She's not comfortable kind of anywhere except when she's sleeping. And even then she wakes up and itches. So that's why we're taking her to the vet tomorrow and see if there's anything we can do just to give her a little bit of relief. Yes, good to see you, Julia. So I had a great card class on Saturday. Had 8 ladies here, and we had so much fun. Dr. Robin was here with me, and she took one room. I had 4 in one room and 4 in the other. Colleen in Seattle in the 90s, yeah. So we had a really nice card class, enjoyed one another, made lots of pretty cards. That was so much fun, so much fun. And currently I'm working on getting everything together for the for my Christmas in July mini retreat that the pre-order's already over, but I'm getting everything ready because we send it out next week. Robin and I are doing that together. And so I've got a lot of Christmas on my mind, you know. Deborah, good to see you. And Jeanne, good to see you also. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Well, I'm going to put Ellie down and let her see if she can take a little nap and relax a little bit. I'm preparing a new faith creations class that I'll bring out on Friday. I don't have it totally ready, but it's going to be sympathy cards with scripture verses. And I know we need a lot of sympathy cards. And when you need one, you don't want to really have to take the time to make it. So I thought we'd get ahead and we'd put some scriptures on them, which is always so nice at a time like that. So I'm working on that class, and I'll have it ready to go hopefully by Friday. And we can start taking a look at that. And then my Sweet Jar tutorial bundle. You know, I've been telling most of you about this. I've been talking about it for a while. I'm working with 6 other demonstrators. We're called the Papercraft Collective, and we make video tutorials focusing on one bundle, and this time it's the Sweet Jar bundle with the adding the Jar of Joy, the Christmas one. Hi, Linda. And so you can get all of that for a $50 order in my online store. I'll send you this tutorial bundle with 7 tutorials and PDFs and videos for free for a $50 order in my online store. Or you can buy it in my tutorial shop. You might not know I have a tutorial shop on my blog or website. Over on the menu at the top, over on the right, it says tutorial shop. And you can just pop in there, and I load new tutorials all the time. And this one is in there for $20. So if you'd like to get those, if you have that bundle, you're going to want these tutorials because it's lots of great cards. So that is about all the news we have. And I have a fun card for you today. Even though it's not Friday, we're going to do a fun fold. I thought you might like that anyway. We all love fun folds. So let me turn you down and we'll get started. So I told you I've been working on a lot of Christmas stuff for getting ready for the mini retreat. So I decided I just needed to do a summer card. So we're going to do a fun summer card, and I've decided I'm filling this little cup. Hi, Georgia. This little cup you've seen me use it before from the Weekend Adventures stamp set, and here it is. And I love cups, but I love that cup, especially, well, because it's really the only cup we have right now that I know of. So what I did is I also got out, and maybe some of you can guess, the Cheers and Sips bundle, because the Cheers and Sips bundle has, so with summer, I'm thinking of iced tea or lemonade, right? And this has it has lemons, strawberries, mint. I love mint in my iced tea, don't you? A sprig of mint in your iced tea. And then it has all the dyes that go with it. So what we're going to do is use that little cup right here, and we're going to put lemons and mint, and I'm not even sure what that is. It could be just rosemary. And we're going to have fun and make this little fun fold that opens like that. Isn't that cute? So it's a combination of a couple of different things to make this little card. And I also wanted to use and show you, just in case you're all very knowledgeable, but I thought maybe some of you don't know. Hello, Carol, good to see you. That Stampin' Up! Has designer series paper in every single color family that they make, in addition to the in colors. And every year they come out with different patterns, okay? So these are the subtle colors. And when you get this, I have this one on top because we're going to use it today. But you get, these are the patterns for this year. Flowers on one side. This is soft sea foam. And then we're going to use this in the Fresh Freesia today. It's just like a kind of a watermarked, good background. So there's some more flowers. Then there's the leaves. One pattern has leaves on one side and stripes on the other side. So you get, I think it's 4 sheets, 2 of each pattern of every single color in the subtles. And then they have this for the brights and the regals and the in colors and the neutrals. You can get one of these packs for all of those different color families. But what I like about it is it just gives you a nice option of designer series paper that isn't really like some of our super fancy ones. This makes nice background pieces. And so this is the subtles group, and that's what we're going to use today to create our card. So let's get out all of our what I call the pieces parts here. I think there is pollen. It's probably Ellie and me. We're both coughing. Soft sea foam. Yes, it's one of my, well, you know, I'm just a Settles girl as far as the color families go. So that's why I get the Settles assortment, because I like it. So we're going to start out. Let's look and see how we're going to make this fun fold. It's really easy. And it's just a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of basic white cardstock. It's already scored at 4 1/4, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in and score it again at 2 1/8, because that's half of 4 1/4, if I'm not mistaken. Because we want to score this front piece in half. So I'll just set my paper trimmer over there, and there we go. So we have the front folded back, and that creates the fun fold, right? And it's easy. It's really an easy one. But then you can dress it up with what you do. Julia, you're going to be in San Diego next week. Oh my gosh, how exciting. You should contact me. Email me and let me know. And I could try to see if I could meet you somewhere, but let me know where you're going to stay. That's very exciting. Sherry, good to see you from Indiana. Okay, so this is our card base for our fun fold, but we're going to do some fun stuff. And what we're going to do is put designer series paper panels on all these places. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do the leaves on the front panel and the inside panel, and then over here we're going to do this one. So let's start cutting. If you want to recreate this card, then make sure you take down the measurements, because I don't write them down anywhere for you. You just write them down when you're listening here. So the two panels on the front are both 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. Okay, 2 1/8, and I'm going to go back just a little back of 2 1/8 because we have a fold in there. And then another 2 1/8, and then we're going to want to cut those. I should have done this first at 5 1/2, and these are going to be our front two panels, 5 1/2. And sometimes I go just a little bit over on the up and down length, because I don't want to be too short. All right, and then our inside piece on the inside is going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So let's do our 5 1/2, and then 2 1/4 right there. And then we're going to have one interesting, just to add a bit of interest, we're going to have a strip on the front on this side, just to use more of the paper. And this is going to be 3/4, and I think it's already 5 1/2. Yeah, it's already 5 1/2, and I want it to be 3/4. So let's lay that down. Okay, now we've got all of our designer series paper all cut and ready to go. So now we can start assembling our card. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on this piece right here. And the way we make this fun fold is we are going to use an arch and put it sideways. Isn't that interesting? So that's another little thing that you need to make this card. Many times we'll make the same design and we'll put like a circle or a rectangle or a square here. And I saw someone use an arch and have it come out like that, and I really liked it. So I thought I would do that. Now I forgot, I want to cut off about 1/4 inch here, because I don't want it to extend past the edge of my card. So I'm just going to cut off 1/4 inch of the arch right there. Okay. We'll just put this over here. All right, so what we want to do is we want to tuck this under our piece of designer series paper that's going to go over this. And you see what I mean? Now it comes, because I cut the 1/4 inch off this part, does not extend past the edge of the card. So that's a good thing. Okay. And what we want here is we want one of these pieces, which is 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to put this interesting other little piece coming down the center, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's just go ahead and do that. Just to add, you know, something different. It's the back side of the leaves, but it just adds a little more interest. So we're just going to put this piece down right in the center of this panel, just like that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to wrap some ribbon around here before we put it down. I want to tie a bow. I love bows. You could tie a knot, or you could just put some ribbon across the center like that, okay? But I want to do a bow. So I like to use, if you haven't watched me before, I like to have plenty of extra ribbon to tie a nice bow, even if I cut a lot of it off at the end. That's just, I want to make sure I have enough ribbon. So I'm going to cut this off. This is the Darling Duckling faux linen ribbon, and I have been using this particular color. I think it's kind of in a way clear. I really like the way it looks. So what I'm going to do to secure my ribbon so that it doesn't move is I'm just going to put some tear and tape down the back of this strip, just like this, because I don't want that ribbon to be moving around. And when I use tear and tape, I like to press down with the bone folder to really get it to stick. And now let me see how I want this to be. I want plenty of ribbon to tie it here in the front. Okay, so we know this is about where we're going to put this down, right about here, right on the tape, just like that. Okay, and now we're just going to pull it around to the front and we can tie our bow. First, I'm going to add even more tear and tape to make sure my ribbon stays in place. I'm just going to not put it all the way up because I do need to tie the bow, but I just want to add a little bit so I know that it's going to stay where I want it to. This is going to make my card pretty. And then now again, you can do the same thing and just tie a knot, a square knot or a regular knot, or use the same method and just put ribbon around the front, just like I did on the back. I'm just trying to get that little piece up. There we go. Okay, and this little piece here, there. Hi, Michelle, good to see you. So this is going to keep this ribbon right where we want it, right in the center there, just like that. And the same with this one. Okay, and then we're ready to tie our bow. We have this area loose down here, and we can just tie our bow, but we know our ribbon is not going to be going anywhere. And that's the main thing. We want it to be where we put it. Okay, so we'll just tie a quick bow. And see how it turns out if we like it. Sometimes if we don't like it, we'll just do it again. But that looks pretty good. There we go. That looks pretty good. I like it. And we're just going to trim our little edges. We may retrim them later. Okay, now we're ready to adhere this to our front panel. And see how nice that looks? And it's already finished and pretty. Okay, so we're going to do this with glue, multi-purpose liquid glue. And I mean, goodness, our card's even half finished by now, right? Because we've made such a pretty little panel here. Okay, now we want to keep it, if we can, a little to the left of the fold. So let's see how that looks. Perfect, just perfect. And now we're ready to adhere the other boo-boo mistake. Let me pull this up really quick. Okay. Okay, I almost forgot. Goodness sakes, I got so into my bow. I forgot we need to put our arch down. Goodness sakes. Okay, here we go. We're just going to put our arch right as high up there as I can get it now. And then we'll put our panel back down. And I did get some glue on the back. Okay. And for this, I'm sure you guys do have your rubber eraser, and you just do this and it gets off the glue. I might not do it all right now. I might do some more later. And the glue does get a little wonky there, but you just work at it for a few minutes and it'll come up. Of course we make mistakes while we're on a live. Everybody does. Okay. And then we're going to put this panel right here on the inside. We're going to decorate the front here shortly. Okay, so, and one thing about this is you want to make sure it's a little to the left of the fold line like I mentioned before. There we go. Isn't that cute? And we're going to decorate this. Okay, and then we have this piece, which is 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. Just letting you know again, we already cut it that measurement. And we're going to put this on the inside right edge, leaving space on the left for you to write, you know, your greeting, whatever you want to say there. So our cards, you know, there it is. And all you have to do is we're going to decorate this. But that is your little fun fold. Isn't that cute? I think that's so, I really like that. So now we're going to make our, let's look at our sample again. Now we're going to make our decoration, our cup of iced tea. I'll put it up there so you can see it. And you know why I made it yellow? Because I'm patterning it after this cute mug that I showed the other day that I got from my church. It says Unhurried, and my pastor does a podcast called Unhurried, and I got one of the mugs, and so I thought I would pattern our little mug today after my Unhurried mug, and so I made it yellow with, we're going to use Secret C for the border, just like, I'll hold it up a little closer. See how that is? Isn't that cute? Okay, I'm just going to take a sip as long as I have it. But I thought because it's still summer that we would just make a little mug of iced tea. So, and again, if you weren't here in the beginning, we're using for the mug the Weekend Adventures stamp set, and we're going to do the outline of the mug first with Secret C ink. There are no coordinating dies. I don't think there are. I could be mistaken. There could be. I just wanted the stamp set because I love the mug so much. And what we're going to do with this little guy, we're going to do a couple of things to color him in. I'm calling it a him. That's kind of odd. I'm going to get a little, I'm going to do a little bit of blending with a blending brush. So I don't want to get ink on my mat there. So I'm just going to put this little piece of paper out there, and we're going to get some lemon lolly ink and a blending brush, and we're going to just blend on this little mug to make it yellow. And this is the reason, one reason I'm really enjoying blending things is that it's a very soft look. I like that it's soft, and I'm going to try to do a little shading by putting it a little bit darker on one side. Let's see if I'm successful here. A little darker on one side, just because arty people do that, and I'm not really an artist, but I watch. Louise, good to see you from New York. So there's our little softly blended mug, and what I'm going to do is just take a Lemon Lolly Stampin' Blend, the light one, and I'm just going to do a little more shading by coloring right in here and on the handle. I probably could have used the dark. This is the light Lemon Lolly. And then I'm going to color a little bit in here. It's subtle. It's a subtle look, but doesn't it look all of a sudden like it kind of has come to life with that? It just gives it a little bit of personality. Tammy, good to see you. And this little guy we need to cut out because, as I said, I don't have dies. I don't know if there are dies. I was just so excited to get the little mug, I just ordered it. This is part of, I think, a scrapbooking kit, but you can buy the stamp sets separately, so that's why I saw it and I just went, love that mug. So I had to get it. And it's not even that hard to cut out. It's just a little quickie. And remember, when you're fussy cutting, you're turning your paper rather than your scissors. It's a little hard to do when you're on a live, but there we go. Okay, there's our cute mug. So we've got the beginning of the mug, and now we're going to stamp all the fun things that go in the mug. So we're already assuming that there's iced tea in there, right? So we need lemons for our iced tea, and we need some mint, and I also want to stamp some of those little rosemary, what I think are rosemary. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but here are the cute little lemons, and I'm using Daffodil Delight, and there is a die for these. And then the mint, where did my mint go? Okay, here's the mint. This is all from the Cheers and Sips stamp set. I'm combining stamp sets today. So there's some mint. And then I'm going to do these little, what I think is rosemary. I'm not sure. You guys tell me what you think. These little guys I'm going to do in Granny Apple Green. Okay. Let me get these off to the side. And we're going to just do some quick coloring to give them a little personality. So for our mint, we're going to color it in with light Granny Apple Green. Just a little bit, just to give it some personality. Like this, okay? And the same on this one. Just a little. And on these little leaves, we'll just do a tiny bit there. And then I'm going, because we're using fresh freesia, I'm going to make these flowers fresh freesia. So does anybody know, is this rosemary? What is it? It's something that goes in drinks because it's in the Cheers and Sips stamp set, but I haven't figured out for sure. So I'm calling it rosemary, but I'd love for someone to give a good guess of what you think. Okay, now by the magic of filming, I already cut these out. I already did them and cut them out using the die, the dies that go with them. So there's a die for every one of these. But I did have another rosemary. I thought we may have to cut a rosemary that I just did. I really didn't want to have to do that. We might just use one. We might just use the one flower because I wanted to save time. Oh, thank you. You like my nails. Hi, Elaine. I think we're just going to go ahead and go with what I went ahead and cut out. We'll see how it looks. I can cut another rosemary if I want to. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring our card back in. This is our sample that we're going from. And one thing we need to do is we need to cut the little, oh, I found it. Yay, I found the other rosemary. Okay. We're going to stamp and cut this little word enjoy, which is from it's from the Weekend Adventures set where the mug is from. These little sentiments fit right on the mug. You've got cheers, better together, relax, and enjoy with a heart. And so what I'm going to do is just stamp the little enjoy on a piece of fresh freesia cardstock. So let's just do that, and then we'll just cut that out. Elaine, you're on holiday right now. You climbed a mountain today. Oh my gosh. That sounds very stressful to me, but good for you that you could do it. Okay, here is our little enjoy, our cute little sentiment, because we're going to enjoy our little cup of iced tea, summer iced tea. And we're just going to cut around this. You know, we could use a die, but it's so tiny. It really is easy to do. Okay, so now we have all of our things we want to use. So let's go ahead and build our little summer iced tea mug. Now, one thing we want to do is we want to cut one of the lemons in half, because lemon slices are what you need. So we have two lemon slices now. And what I'm going to do is cut a little triangle in one, so it hopefully will look like it's just sitting on the edge of the, you know how they do that when you get a drink in a restaurant, they put the little lemon slice, they just put it right like that. And so that's what I want to do. Okay, and we're going to put some mint in our iced tea. And here's one. I've got the two mint, little pieces of mint. And what I discovered is that on one, if I cut it up close like that, we can put it in like inside the mug, and it's going to look like it's sitting right. It's going to look like it's kind of going down in the inside. If I didn't really have a tool to cut a strip in there, but that would be cool. That would be neat. Cool, neat to cut a strip and actually tuck these things down there. And I know Stampin' Up! Does have a little tool. It goes on the Take Your Pick tool, but I don't have that attachment. Okay, so we're going to put our little mint right there. And then we're going to put another mint behind that one, like that. And so I'm just using little dots of glue to adhere these things. It is a little bit tiny. And let's just adhere it like that. There we go. And then we can put our lemon slice on. And we'll just put glue on the bottom area there. And just have our little lemon slice. Isn't that kind of cute? And then we have our other lemon slice left that we can put on the edge of the card. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a large one here and a half slice, a large one like that, and the half slice coming over here. Let's see, just like that. However you want to do it. Isn't that kind of cute? I know it's so tiny, it's way down there. I'll bring it up so I can show you guys. Isn't that just cute? Okay, now we want to put on our sentiment, our little enjoy sentiment. And I've got some tiny little mini dimensionals that we can use for that. I think even one will do it. Just fits right on there perfectly. So let's see where it's going to fit. Just like that. And then we have these two, what I think are rosemary pieces that will have come up from the back. So we'll put a few dots of glue on those. This is little, this is some, it's little, but actually it really makes such a nice effect. You know, even though they're little tiny pieces, when you get it all put together, I think it's just super cute. I'm just gonna do that. And it should just stick right on. Stick on there, baby. Okay, there we go. There's our little mug. Isn't that cute? Okay, so we are ready now to put this right on the front of our card, right on this arch that I almost forgot to put in there, but thankfully we remembered. And let's use some dimensionals. And in cases like this, when I use my dimensionals, when I have all these little things glued together, I like to put the dimensionals over some of those glued parts to make sure it holds it all together like that. In fact, we might put another one up here because that has a lot of little pieces glued on it, doesn't it? Let's do this, and we're ready, almost ready to see the finale, the reveal. By the time you put this cute little guy on here, isn't that just cute? There we go. We're going to do a little bit more, but isn't that just adorable? Now we're going to put a couple of lemons down on the bottom, just for fun. Just to add more, you know, just a little more foo-foo to the card. It would be fine this way, but I just thought it'd be kind of cute to put a few lemons at the bottom, and I had them left over. Just like that. And then we need to do a little stamping. We need to stamp our envelope, and we can stamp the inside of our card. I'm going to use Old Olive, and we're going to stamp a few mint leaves. Let's do that. Where did my mint leaves go? Here they are. Okay, so we'll just stamp a little mint sprig right there. Do you guys grow mint? I have a little mint plant growing outside, and I enjoy it because it's out there. You can just pick a little mint when you want it. Okay, so we'll put one little mint leaf there, a little cluster, and we'll do another one right up in here, making sure to take care to flatten that out there. And finally, we need to put some bling on there, don't you think? We always have to have bling, and I found some really cute sequins. They're called Starburst sequins, and I'm not 100% sure if they're fresh freesia. They look like it to me, and that looks like Darling Duckling, and that is white, but I wanted to use the fresh freesia ones. So we'll just decorate our card a little bit. We'll put one maybe out here, and I like to press down after I put them on to help them to really, you know, add extra adhering. And then we'll just put one right here. So there is our cute little iced tea card, little summer iced tea, mug of summer iced tea. You have mint growing, Roz. Spearmint and chocolate. Oh my gosh. And Hilda has mint. I don't even know. I think mine is just plain peppermint, but I love it. I just go out and pick a little bit off the top, and it's so good. So there's your card. Isn't that super cute? I love the colors. I love the designer series paper, and it's summery and refreshing. And this will be your prize next week, 1 week from today. If you put the word prize today, you will be entered into the random drawing to win this. Julia grows mint, rosemary, sage, oh my goodness gracious. And you let them dry out for the winter. Oh, you're good, Julia. You're sounds like you're good. I tried to grow like some tomatoes and stuff, but we have vermin. We have little like opossums and possums and things that came in and ate them. And I didn't want them to be attracted to our yard because of Ellie. So what I did is I just didn't grow them. And the only thing I really grow, I do have some sage and some mint just in pots. But I'm really protective of Ellie. I didn't want any animals coming around, you know, it scared me. Anyway, here's today's card. So let's bring you, it comes back every year. Okay. I'm going to bring you up and we will give away a prize today. So the prize for today, a week ago, we were playing around with the two-tone cardstock. If you'll remember, we made this fun card with two-tone cardstock because it was on sale. And I know that quite a few of you got some that was on sale. Let me put it over here. So this is the prize for today, this little note card. And our winner is, and I think she's on this call, Karen Kozleski from Ashland, Oregon. Congratulations, Karen. I'm so glad that you watch. I appreciate every one of you that watch. I look over the comments during the week and they always encourage me so much. So thank you for watching. That's why I give away these little tokens of appreciation. Thank you, Karen. I'll get this out to you in a week or two. Mailing isn't my strong suit, but anyway, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed our card today and have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday.